You're listening to Mr. Allard's Neighborhood. Small town feel with big time ideas. After all, you are entitled to Brad's opinion. Here's your host, Brad Allard.
Well, today, right now, we're going to do a considerably more entertaining show than one I just finished this morning. We're going to talk about Pollo Rosso Winery with the Patricks. Of course, I still, I do this with your daughter. I still call her Hollowell,
yeah.
And poor little Megan, she's a great guest, by the way. She comes on here. She's a natural.
Wow.
So if you don't know who I'm talking about, guys, Megan is the, I don't know what you call her, the media coordinator over at Next Step.
Yes.
Okay, that's a good title for her.
That's a good title for her.
Yeah. But anyway, Don and Dwayne here are going to talk about Pollo Rosso Winery over in Cleburne. So we're going to have a little fun. And I'm going to ask them what they were thinking when they said, yeah, let's have a winery. Because I have a little bit of background. My cousin used to have a winery, and I got well acquainted with all the hassles it takes. And they're telling me before the show, it's like, are they trying to put you out of business? I mean, it sounds like it, almost, prohibitionists running this state. Who knows?
Right.
Well, but anyway, how long have y'all been doing this?
Well, we started... he's been growing grapes at the Christmas tree farm for many years. It's been a long time.
Probably about
10, 12 years. So we have a small vineyard there. And then when we got together, we just started talking about expanding. Now, he wanted rental houses. I wanted to put in a vineyard. And I sit and try to think about when did this come into my head, and it just happened. I don't know. I don't remember why I said, let's do this. And every single person that we ever talked to about putting in a vineyard and a winery literally told us not to do it, but we did it anyway for some reason. But we're enjoying it. It is fun. It's a lot of work, but it's fun. But so it's been 4 years. We bought the property in 2020. So we started looking for property in 19, found the property in 2020, and that's when we put our first grapes in the ground. And we had 2 rental houses. So he got his rental houses,
okay,
and I got my vineyard. And we started building the vineyard, and then we still have the back house is a rental house that's paid off, and so that rent is now paying for the mortgage for the front house. So we've got that all handled. That's really good. And the front house has become the winery.
Well, that's good. I want to run through the sponsors real quick, and then we're going to talk about from the ground up, and then we'll be taking samples occasionally during the show, and so I'll probably get a little giggly at the end, but that's fine. No, I can hold my wine. Holy Toledo. Anyway. Thank you, Otto, at our place. I'm sure you've been there before.
Oh, yes.
Have you been to Gina's yet? You remember Gina's from the old days?
Yeah, the old days, but they've remodeled and everything.
Right, and it's very, very nice.
It looks beautiful.
It is. I've been there several times, and it's got a good atmosphere. The pizza's great, so it's the kind of service you expect. It's a good place to go for lunch, certainly. Also, thank you to Wild Cigar and Culture. I don't know, Dwayne, do you smoke cigars? I don't hear him very well, Taylor.
Do you need to be closer?
No, his mic isn't on.
Hello.
Taylor, so
I'm working on it.
Okay. Anyway, Wild Cigar and Culture over on Standard. They got all these sales going on, these specials, whatnot. It's a good place to go. Even if you don't smoke yourself, they got a good bar. They also have good gift certificates. They got a lot of plans, so it's a good thing to do. Also, Southern Jim, you were mentioning it just this morning. You're going to need to go buy it, right?
Yes, I need to go buy. I've got a necklace that needs to be fixed.
Well, that's where you get it done, because they could fix all your jewelry. They could design it. They could repair it. And also they got the inventory. So maybe after this thing takes off, you can just, go buy jewelry all the time.
There you go.
And, Robin's there right now, so go say hey to Robin. Say,
hey, Robin.
Also, thank you to Two Maids with Brenda Ramirez, twomaidscleaning.com/Burleson, 817-764-0733.
Should be good now.
Are you good? Let's
Hello. Test.
A little bit.
Hello.
All right,
I don't really matter.
Okay, fine.
I'm a nobody. Oh, there I am.
All right, good. twomaidscleaning.com/Burleson, 817-764-0733. It's a good company to deal with. They do a good job because they get paid on what you rate them. Plus, they have all these different plans. A lot of us in our networking group use them for our parents as well as ourselves. And they do commercial as well. They do the windmiller building and other things. So they do a really, really good job, and Brenda's got a really good business going on there. Also, thank you to our friends over at Old Pro Roofing with John Williams, 817-734-2756. He came and inspected my roof last week, good to go. And so there's no upsell, there's no doom and gloom scenarios or whatever else. He's going to tell you the truth about what's going on. So this is a good time to get it inspected because it's not going to rain again until 2029, I hear. So, so there you go. Okay, thank you. And there you go. And lastly, and not leastly, Jeff with the Weathington Agency, Jeff Kelly. Jeff Kelly, his number is 817-720-6300 is the office number. His cell is 817-781-0546. Or Jeff at jeffkellyrealty.com. He's, like I said, he's with the Weathington Agency here in town, so he's a local guy, and it's going to do right. So, why is the first question I would ask? Because, like I said, I have some familiarity with this whole process from my cousin, and there's a lot of work between the idea and the actual putting it into place. So, it's just something that y'all saw as a growing industry and all that?
Absolutely. Well, certainly that's the case. But our goal was to not have to work for other people anymore. Dwayne was an electrician, handyman, and we were all over the Metroplex. And we would spend hours a day driving around from job to job and all. And he was tired of getting into hot attics and all of those kind of things. And so we were looking at all the potential diversifications that would allow us to stay at home and work from our farms. And so, like I said, he was wanting rental houses, I was wanting a vineyard, and we put that together and hoping that would come into, part of our income. And that, of course, there's a whole lot of money that goes out before things start coming in. And that has absolutely been the case. But growing our estate, with the of course, real estate, when you buy dirt, it's always a good deal. You're always going to that's always going to pay off for you. And so we have like I said, getting the land plus 2 houses was a really good thing for us, and we were able to run those as we were building the vineyards, putting all that stuff in. We were able to have people in both houses, so taking care of all that. And then the front house, which was originally built in 1885. There, so it's been there for a very long time. I have all the deeds for that house from back to 1930, and each family that lived there for an extended period of time. I've heard there were mental patients in there at one time. We heard that.
What time?
They're there.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
We're still there.
They're still there.
We're really there now. But Bonnie and Clyde supposedly spent time there during one of their trips through, this area, because his family was in Itasca. So, it's a beautiful little old house, and I mean, the first time we walked into it, both of us have the ability to see past what's in front of us and see the potential, and it was in horrible shape. It was a bad situation, and then. But we could see what it could be, and so we started with the remodel, and it turned it into this really nice rent house to start with. But then now
it's still crooked in places. It looks a lot better.
Yeah, there's nothing straight there. But so on all the stuff he's built to add on to it, the big deck, and we've added the patio cover, and then of course built the bar inside and all this stuff. Added those things. He's very much Lukenbach. I'm real Margaritaville. And so we had 2 attitudes and atmospheres that we had to merge. I think we've done a really good job of that. And but our desire, as we discuss this, when we talk to people about wineries, and we did a lot of research. I mean, it was grueling, all of the research, all these wineries we had to go to, and all the wine we drank, and all the people we talked to.
All the wine we drank.
It was grueling.
Oh, no.
But we did. He has a notebook that he kept as we went and talked to people. We intentionally, everywhere we went, we stopped at wineries and talked to owners and winery. And if the owners weren't there, we asked questions of the people who worked there. And so, but he kept just documented everything positive.
I kept a record of what I thought they did right and what they did wrong. So we just you know, we could look at it and say, well, I didn't like this, so we're not going to do that, you know, or I really like this, or we'll see if we can incorporate that into our place, you know. So, but one of the questions I always ask is, if you can do something different now, what would you change? And almost all of them told us to get wine in front of your customer as quick as you can. And I didn't understand all that, but basically what they're saying is start making your money as fast as you can, because this other stuff is going to cost a lot of money.
Right.
So
it is. It's very expensive. And we were talking about before the show, just dealing with the bureaucracy itself is a tedious and probably expensive proposition. But, you know, it takes about 3 years before you can get a bottle, right?
but,
Even more than that, 4 years.
Yeah.
4 years, okay.
Well, it does, yes.
For us, it's going to be 5, but for most people, it's because 3 years for the grapes, and then you let the wine set for 9 months to a year after that.
Right. So, but you have inventory to sell now, right? Okay, good. But, you know, it took about, you know, like I said, 3 to 4 years before it could happen. And, you know, and a lot of the early grapes of my cousins growing, I'm going to be referring to him a lot. Basically, they would just sell it to other wineries or, you know, bigger ones where they'd make, I don't know, they would, you know, jelly out of it or something like that. It was a lesser quality. But it finally, after a while, you know, started producing. Now, where did you get your grapes? Because he brought in some grapes that were breeds from California and also like Spanish-based grapes and stuff like that, and Riesling, things of that nature. Where did you get your grapes?
Well, you know, let me answer this. Well, in the very beginning, we decided that since we had the Christmas tree farm, that you know, we had to be careful about the grapes that we chose, because some of them require a lot more work than others. So with the Christmas trees, we're only open, you know, we're only utilizing our farm mainly, you know, September, October, November, December. And so that's one of the reasons we decided grapes would be so good. But we decided to go with Texas native, not really native grapes, I guess, but, you know, American.
They're not
know,
vinifera.
Yeah, we none of these foreign country stuff that people, you know, because these are well adapted to our area and they're less work. So we're, you know, she says, you know, let's work smarter, you know, instead of harder. So we have the Blanc de Bois and the Black Spanish, which is, I mean, a lot of places around here have them. But with us having a tree farm, it works best for us because we're not having to fight all these funguses and all this stuff that's bad for grapes, especially if you introduce your European breeds. So you're out there having to work them all the time. And so these don't take quite as much work.
Well,
so
these European breeds that my cousin was growing, they had to be adaptable to the weather in Oklahoma, which is very similar to ours, of course. It was in southwest Oklahoma. Had to be adaptable to the heat, had to be adaptable to irregular rainfall and things like that. And like any other crop, some years are better than others, right? And it was, he had a pretty decent variety. And I guess your customers want a pretty decent variety as well. But what grows out in California, the reason they do so well is because they have pretty consistent weather, you know. The quality, you know, varies, of course, you know, but then the price level varies. But if you get a really good Texas or Oklahoma wine, it's as good as something that's grown in California.
Absolutely.
absolutely.
Yeah. It's just that they're able to produce it in the mass quantities that really it's hard to do here. And but as far as the quality, you know, people 20 years ago, the idea of drinking Texas wine would be like they're drinking moonshine or something like that. But now it's a big deal.
Texas wine is on the map now.
Yeah, it is.
That. So another thing is we didn't want to spend an arm and a leg. 'Cause, I mean, a person could go out and buy all their grapes to plant and spend thousands and thousands of dollars. Or you can do the way we did it, and you just go find the grapes that you like from some other person's vineyard and take their clippings and propagate them yourself. And that's what we did. So we have probably 500 vines growing right now, and we you know, it's absolutely zero. So we just took the cuttings and put them in the ground, and now we have grapes.
That's how he did it, you know. And it took a lot of work to get it started because you know, you have to. It's not it's not something you can plant like with a big machine, like cotton or wheat, or
No.
something like that. It's hand done.
Your hand done. Yeah.
Yeah, and you have to have like the postings all along so the vines can grow around the post and all that. Do you have like an irrigation system?
We do. We have a drip system.
Yeah, he did too. And then you have to put that together, and it's just, that's something a young man can do. Surely you had some help.
Oh, the two of us did
No,
everything.
we've done everything.
We've done every bit of it ourselves.
Wow.
The two of us.
All our kids, they look the other way.
Oh, yeah? Oh, goodness.
So no, we have put in every bit of trellising, every bit of fencing over there, everything we've done. We've done. I mean, there was an occasional time when we were like demolishing a barn that we'd hire a couple of young bucks to come out and tear stuff up. But as far as the building part, pretty much we've done all that. Chuck helped you with the deck, but we've done, as far as the vineyard out there, we built all of that ourselves and put every grape in the ground too. We planted every single one by ourselves by hand. And
There's a lot of people that come there now, and they say, it's the first time we got to come by here. We said, but y'all are the hardest working people in America, because we drive by here and y'all are out there working every day. Every day.
It keeps her busy.
Yeah.
I've never known Donna not to have some major project. Her sitting around the house, that ain't going to happen. So, but and then your love of nature, certainly, I'm sure. But man, it's so hot. That's hot work.
We get used to the heat. And we're out there whether it's hot or cold, because we have to get up and go out every morning no matter what, because we have animals first. And so first thing every morning, animals.
Yesterday, and it wasn't that bad.
Yeah, it wasn't that bad. I was out in it all day long. He was out in it all day long. So, yep.
Anyway, but I tell you, it wasn't just the growing of the grapes that was a problem. Also, this is a problem that y'all may not have because where your grapes are located at, but my cousin's grapes are in the middle of cotton country.
Drift.
Oh, that's exactly right. It just, his grapes are harvested in August, and that's right in the middle of cotton growing season, and you'd have these dive bombers, these cotton sprayers, and they're spraying Roundup on everything, and it drift over. And even if you could try to make a case that their drift caused you financial damage, it was sometimes a pretty big hassle to get it. But the drift was a real problem.
Yep.
And it wasn't just killing grapes; it's killing everybody's rose garden back in Roosevelt or their garden or vegetable gardens. But they didn't care.
Right.
They're big time farmers. They're using crop dusters.
Right.
That's not a problem for y'all, is it?
Not for us, no.
Okay.
We don't have that issue. Now, I know the High Plains still is dealing with that. As more cotton fields are leaving and more grapevines are coming in, it's less of a problem. But certainly when the High Plains started planting grapes amongst the cotton fields, that was an issue. And that's one of the, we've been at one of these educational things, and drift is one of the, things that has come up to talk about, but we don't have to worry about it.
And our vineyard is right there in suburbia anyway. So
We're not in the city limits, but we're so close.
So close, just right outside.
So close.
That's good. It's like I live right outside the city limits, and it has its advantages. So,
Absolutely.
Where do you grow grapes?
Where do we grow the grapes?
Where, yeah.
In Cleburne. They're right behind that was one of Dwayne's pet peeves, and one of the big deals that he noted on every single winery we went to. Can you see the vineyard from the winery? Can you sit and drink wine and look at the vineyard? He wanted that to happen. And of course, for us, where we bought the property, that was very simple. So we have three vineyards. We have the Blanc du Bois vineyard, we have the Lenoir vineyard, and then we have phase 3, which is not really, it's not done yet, but we have started putting grapes out there. But that's going to be Wild Mustang. We're actually going to try to control Wild Mustangs so that it's easier for us to harvest. And then A&M's helping us by getting us 100 Champanelles. We've made good friends with some of the people at A&M, and he's working on getting us some Champanelles ready to go. And so we'll have those from there. And so we'll put 100 Champanelles out on that vineyard as well. But so those will be our 3 vineyards. We will never grow enough grapes for us to have all of the wine that we need from our property. We will always go somewhere else for somebody else's grapes or somebody else's wine. I mean, we're going to always have to in order to have enough different ones to offer. But we will have estate wines, and we'll be working on those, as we go. Like I said, our first harvest was this year. We harvested 65 Blanc du Bois And so we got about
65 plants.
65 plant, Bloc du Bois, and we've got about
Probably
45.
about a quarter of a ton of grapes.
You sent us some pictures on that, did you?
Yes, I sent you a picture.
Taylor, to run through a couple of those.
I had the harvest. I had a picture of the harvest. There we go. So that's when it's crushing. So we're hand crushing, doing everything.
Not so fast. He does this all the time. Wait, what you got? Train to catch?
Those are beautiful. So we were crushing them out on our back patio, and we had several really fun friends come out and help us with the harvest, which was awesome. And then they, some of them stayed around to help. I don't know how it's so foggy, but some of them stayed around to help with the crushing and getting the juice ready. And so we're going to need to re-rack that juice in the next. It's been fermenting. It smells so good in the house there, and so we'll be re-racking that soon. But
No, any other vineyard is probably laughing at the way we did this. As a hand crank,
Right.
juicer.
Yeah, I've seen the wine press, you know,
Yeah.
and I thought
well.
that's what I was looking for, actually. You know.
yeah.
Okay.
We pressed in a little bit different way. We crushed and destemmed there, and then we pressed with a bucket.
Yeah.
So we pushed about one bucket and another bucket, and so
Almost.
and
I mean,
juiced
one
that
step
way.
away from stomping it with your feet.
Yeah, no, really.
We were close.
You know, every time I hear about that, I think of the I Love Lucy episode. You know?
Absolutely.
All right, what's the next one there? There was a picture of y'all cutting.
Why are those so foggy? I don't know, but there was a picture of us out in there. I thought.
There's
Anyway.
some. There you go.
There we go. That's me.
That's Mustangs. We're harvesting Mustangs.
Yeah, that's harvesting Mustangs. So that's along a fence line, out on a county road, and we're harvesting. Now Mustangs are much more tedious to harvest because their clusters are only about 3 or 4 grapes per cluster. So the Blanc du Bois, you had 30 in a cluster, and so you're filling up a bucket fast. With Mustangs, it's not that fast.
And that's what this one
That's
here
what that
is.
one is,
Well,
yes.
let's give it a shot.
Give it a
so
shot.
to speak.
Try it. Try
You know,
it.
I had a neighbor that had Mustang grapes, and he would make about 10 bottles. You know, he was just an amateur. He wasn't trying to make a living out of it. But he said, I might as well do something. And he gave us a bottle.
Yeah.
And and think about the Mustang grapes. It was like every bottle was like different, you know. And
Yeah. No, that's true.
you see, you're supposed to smell it. You're supposed
Smell
to smell it. Yeah. Oh, this is so. You know what it reminds me of? The juice we drank at Lord's Supper in church.
I was hoping it wasn't that sweet, but
No, it's just like maybe that's what they've been serving us.
Maybe.
I know
Oh,
that.
that's all the time.
Well, the donations went up after that particular service. Oh, so
but yeah.
That's our number 2 seller right now.
But it is sweet. I'm not a sweet person. I'm like you. I'm dry red. But
If you didn't make a Mustang sweet, it would draw your cheeks together.
yeah,
I mean,
'Cause
they're
they are so tart.
yeah.
So you have to put the sugar to
Well,
it.
Very
he
high
puts,
acidity.
just regular old sugar. He'd put it in there, and,
Right.
and he'd let it sit there for 6 months or whatever else, just something he did because they're growing on his fence line, so why not?
That's right.
So basically, if you have what Mustang grapes, then send them to you, right?
Oh, we'd love 'em.
Because most people, they just
We'll actually buy them.
oh well, that's too good too.
if you pick them, we'll buy them. If we
pick
have
'em,
to
we'll
pick
buy
them,
'em.
if we
Yeah.
have to pick them, we want them for free.
Yeah.
But so that's what we've been going out harvesting. People come up and we say they see that we have a Mustang wine. They're like, oh well, I have a ton of them on my fence line. Okay, so I've been hitting customers' fence lines.
Yeah, I saw you posted on Facebook. If you have some, we'll come get them.
Yeah.
kind of thing. And most people don't do anything with those Mustang grapes. They just put it out there. The deer eat them or something
They
like
make
that.
a little jelly or this or
Yeah.
that, but yeah, most of them don't do anything with it per se. But trying to get a sellable Mustang wine, and we worked. But like you said about them being different, of course, we made our first couple of batches in 5-gallon carboys. And what we found when we were ready to start bottling, every carboy tasted different. And we did them this very same way. So we had to get, a large container and mix them all together so that we had a consistent flavor, because I didn't want every bottle to be different.
Right.
But it's weird with Mustangs. You get different levels for some reason. But
And the thing about the Mustang, a lot of people, they say, well, I don't really like it, but I say, take a second. Taste it a second.
Oh, well, since you asked
take
me, why not?
a second sip
It's
and see what you think.
Yeah.
It will be different.
Now, we hear people saying they get chocolate, vanilla.
Yeah, no, it's good. It really is. It's I like dry, but semi-sweet's okay. The extra sweet, like you have here.
Yeah, I have some really sweet ones here.
They make me, clench up. You say pucker up a little bit,
Yeah.
but it also didn't help my diabetes numbers much. But
Right.
there you go.
But that is the minimal amount of sugar I could put in it to make it drinkable. I mean, that really, because I didn't want it to be sweet.
Again, we can't stress if you're gonna make some homemade Mustang wine.
Gotta have sugar.
If you want a dry one, that's not gonna work.
Well, that's
You
fine.
wouldn't be able to drink it.
It'd be like drinking, prune juice or something like
Right,
that.
something really-
make you pucker up real big tight. Anyway, so what's this one right here? You said Sunshine.
That one is Sunshine. That's a Trebbiano. Now,
A Trebbiano. Where's that from?
these, I don't know. But
Sounds
these,
Italian.
These were these were made for us by a place out in Nacogdoches, and so these were produced in an off
custom for
premise.
us.
Yeah, custom crush producing for us. So that was Sunshine. That's a Trebbiano grape. That's a nice one for the pool. If you're sitting by the pool, that's a nice. It is sweet, but it's not too sweet, I don't think. But
No, not too much. You could tell. I've had some sweet wines that are like,
Yeah.
my gosh, they must have dumped the sugar in.
yeah.
This is. I know several people like this. They, a lot of people who may not drink a lot of wine. They
Right.
prefer whites.
That
You know,
one there, I tell people once you pop the top on it, it's gone. Because you're just going to keep pouring more and more.
Because you could just, and so for like summertime sipping, that's perfect.
Plus, a little chilled glass or something like that.
Absolutely.
Sitting by the pool.
That's right.
He's up there wondering why he didn't get to drink.
You want some of this, bud? Come on down.
I'm all right.
No, you sure? All right. No, come on.
Save it for you.
No. I'll save these.
It'll
for
make the
later.
show interesting.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Fine. And this one right here.
This one is Janita, and it is a sweet red. It was Counois. When we went out to taste this one, the people that made it for us, my first taste, I was like, nope, I don't like it. It was horrible, and so I told them that I wasn't gonna take that.
It's not as sweet as I thought it'd be.
No,
That's good.
It's not super sweet.
That's
and
good.
The problem with Counois is it's a relatively new grape, and a lot of people have never heard of it. And a lot of people that come to the winery, they want to stick with the grapes that they know,
That they
the
know.
wines that they know. So
Yeah.
we have to talk them into that one. But it's up and coming.
That really is good. I mean, it's when you said sweet, I was getting prepared for
Yeah.
a sugar rush, but
Nope.
it's not overpowering at all.
It's mixed with Grenache, and so that's how they handled it. And they added enough Grenache to give it some more fruit and some more body, because I thought it was really lackluster as just a Counois. And so they fixed it for me because I wasn't going to leave there until they did.
And she has a story behind the name of that one too. So
Oh,
Janita?
Janita, yes.
Yeah.
So when we first started talking about the winery, there was a group of us that hung out a lot. Dana Smith was one of us. She was there.
Yeah.
And so we were all sitting around, we always say good stories start, well, we were all in a bar. Well, that's kind of how this started. So we were sitting around talking about the winery. Well, what are you going to call it? What are you going to do? And he just jokingly said, let's just call it Pink Chicken Wine. And I like, I like that. And he was like, no, I'm not kidding. No. And so then Jan, Janita's who that's named after, her given name is Janita, but we called her Jan. But Jan said, and your pink chicken can be a pink flamingo. Well, I was all over that. I was like, that works for us. And so then we changed. We didn't, the pink chicken was good, but Pollo Rosso sounds pretty. And so then we went with the pink flamingo and the Pollo Rosso, and it just grew from that point. But it was just all of us talking, and Jan was the one that came up with the flamingo idea. And she passed away in 21, and she... during COVID time, but not from COVID, but she passed away. And so I told Dana when we were at her funeral, I said, Dana, when I have a sweet red wine, I'm going to name it Janita after Jan, because she was a sweet redhead. She was a redhead, and she was just a sweet lady. But since she was a part of the beginning, then
that's your phone.
I know, but it's over there. Y'all hear it?
Journey?
Journey.
Is your, okay.
Journey.
That's your ringtone?
That's my ringtone over there.
Oh, it's,
Just hang it up.
okay. Oh, we're not going to have to do
Okay, done.
royalties on that. Okay. I hope not. That's it. Anyway,
I don't have any.
Okay.
I don't have the rights to this song.
I'm going to save these last two for the end because I like the Reds.
Good.
When I go to the store, and I've told you this earlier, usually I'm not like one of these guys. Oh, if it's $5 more, it must be $5 better.
Right. No.
No. There's a point where you just buying the label, right?
Right.
And if I'm having like company or a dinner, I might spend a few extra dollars, but for like supper tonight, I'll just have something I got at HEB or
Right.
a box wine or whatever
Absolutely.
else. But your kind of place though is the place you go to not just for an evening and all that, but it is meant for like gifts. It's meant for dinners. It's meant for occasions and things like that. And that's what I hope. Is that how you promote yourself?
Well, we had a couple there. It was their anniversary, and they came here and spent the first part of their anniversary night with us, and then went out to eat at a nice restaurant, and we'd love that. Our desire when we were building this thing was that we would create atmosphere, a place where people, what I say is, I want you to have a 2-hour vacation. I want you to come and sit and unplug and unwind and just enjoy the atmosphere. And so we worked very hard to build
There it is, yes.
a place. There you go. See,
Now, where is this exactly?
this is on Highway 4. If you're leaving Cleburne going to Grandview, we're like 3 driveways past the Heights Church. So you go past the baseball fields, past the cemetery, the Heights Church, and then we're right there on the left. But building this outdoor, and we have all these tropical plants
Are you
everywhere.
talking about 67 when you say that?
No, Highway 4.
Highway 4,
It's
okay.
FM4 leaving
Where the
Cleburne.
baseball stadium, I think about the railroaders.
No, not that one.
Not that one.
Okay.
The little kids baseball
okay,
area.
all right.
But creating this place outdoors and indoors, both, with the atmosphere that you're getting away from everything. You're not at home. You're separating. So I'd like to say, if you come out here, you're going to be it's going to be like a 2-hour vacation. So you're going to feel like you're somewhere else and just enjoy the time, especially when we have music and on all that. But even just sitting out there, we love just sitting out there, especially at night when the lights are all on. It's beautiful. He's uplit that big, huge oak tree that's in the middle, and then all the lighting that he's created out there is just gorgeous. And so far we close up before the lighting really kicks in nowadays. But this fall,
absolutely.
It'll be really nice to have those evenings sitting out there on the patio or we have this. It's a 24 by 24 deck, and then a big patio over there that's covered. And then we have a front porch too that's very nice. We've had a lot of people enjoy the front porch, but on the inside as well, we want people to feel like they're in a special place. And it's not a fancy place. We don't want anybody. And I appreciated one man walked in. He goes, "You know what? I was afraid I was going to feel like I was, underdressed in here. But no, I feel this makes me feel good." I was like, "That's what I want. We don't want you to feel like you're."
That goes back to my notebook. That's one of the things I didn't like either, because you can go to some of these places and it's like, holy smokes, I should be in a tux or something.
Really? That kind of ruins the whole thing, don't it?
Yeah.
I was talking about before the show is like, this used to be like back in the day, people start going to fancier coffee shops. Now people do this a lot. I think Texas wineries have really expanded a lot, and because we have several here now, and it's a thing to do as opposed to, not just a special trip, but just, it's an evening out. And, and now that's part of the choices one makes and that's
Right.
a very nice place you have. Very nice.
Thank you.
Looks very accommodating. Looks very homey and whatnot. And what time do you close?
Well, on Fridays and Saturdays we're 12 to 9, and then Sundays are 1 to 8.
But so far it's whenever.
Yeah, I mean, we haven't left at 8 on any Sunday night. There's always been somebody
People,
there.
They get there and they want to stay.
And
I'm
they
like,
just
I don't care. I'll stay
we
with you.
stay and hang
So
out
you're
with
just
them.
3 days a week right now?
3 days a week right now, yes.
You want to expand it?
We'll see. I mean,
We're going to expand a little bit anyway,
Yes, we are.
because we have a pastor that wants to do wine and theology night there.
There you go. Well, maybe we'll finally understand it.
So that we'll put that on a different night.
Well,
Right. Hopefully Thursday night.
Your old Sunday school friends and I should come out there.
Yes. And he does want other people to lead discussions at different times, so you might be interested in coming and leading a discussion one night.
I don't know. My theology, I
Hey,
don't.
I've sat under your teaching.
Okay.
So.
We'll see. Well, anyway,
But in Johnson County, we have, you were saying, several popping up. Lost Oak, of course, is the big one, and they're open most of the week. And then, but around us, within 6 miles either direction of us, there's Wintergrass, which is only open on Sundays. Stone Trough, which is open Friday and Saturday. And then Whiskey Road, which is Ben Rowe and them, and they're open just Saturday. So they're all tiny, but you get a different experience at each one. You've got 4 little bitty wineries, just side by side, but everyone's a different experience.
We were talking about this prior to the show. One of the other obstacles my cousin had was the state of Oklahoma itself.
Right.
You're having problems with the state of Texas ever?
Well, I haven't had it yet, but they haven't shown up yet.
Well, not problems, but they put a lot of hurdles in your way, don't they?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And a lot of wineries hire attorneys to do all their permitting and licensing and all that stuff. And I didn't want to do that. That was $3,000 I didn't need to spend.
She called TABC and talked to a guy, and she goes, "Is this something I can do?" "Oh yeah, you can do that." And I've been laughing ever since.
Yeah. I could do it, and I did it, but I was on the phone all the time. I was pulling my hair out the whole time, but we finally got it all officially, legally permitted and licensed. And
that's where comics go to get their material.
Oh man, it was crazy. But all the things that were required. But I did it myself and saved $3,000, and that's what I appreciate.
Well, it's still what you were describing. First, you had to deal with the feds, and then you had to deal with the state.
Right.
And then you're telling me earlier before that every bottle has to be accounted for. It's like, what are they worried about? You're going to be loading up and bootlegging or what?
I'm sure that's what they're worried about.
Well, but it sounds like you're spending almost more time dealing with it.
They want the tax money off of it.
Well, I bet that's too.
Once you bottle it, I mean, you can leave it in the vat for 5 years if you want to, and they don't tax you on it in the vat. But once you put it in a bottle, they want to know how many you got so we can
get a piece of the action.
Get their money.
It goes into inventory, so you have to tax
I think the mafia took their lessons from the TABC and stuff like that because of how to, or certainly in Oklahoma, because what had happened is every time the Oklahoma wineries, there was like 18 or 19, and they banded together like a wine trail, and every time they started getting some traction, they changed the laws. For example, it used to be my cousin's wine was in several local restaurants, and as far away as Enid, which is about 2 hours away.
Yeah.
And then they changed the law saying they'd have to come get it. And then they said, well, then you can only sell it to certain types of users, and on and on and on. And they just kept restricting how they could deal with it. Unless you wanted to pay a distributor, which basically would take all your profits.
Right.
And is that what you're encountering here?
Well, luckily in Texas, and we've been told this more than once, that if you have a G winery permit, you have a lot more freedom than anybody else. So like the breweries and the distilleries and all those people wish they were us. Because we can kind of buy and sell wine any place, anytime, any way we want. And which I'm not going to do anything except our winery right now. But I do have some freedom to distribute it as needed. And some of the other wineries around us are putting their wine in. I know Whiskey Road has it over here in Burleson at Lone Star, and they have it at SoFire, the brewery in downtown Cleburne. So they're putting it out there, but it's fairly easy, except that you have to keep up with everything. There's a lot of paperwork, a lot of detail and you just I don't want to deal with it yet, and it is a lot. I was in one winery, and I said, "How are you doing?" to the lady that was that owns the winery, and she goes, "The state of Texas owns my every breath." And I was like, "Okay, all right." So it must be close to time to turn in your reports. So, but that's kind of how it is. And if you do something special with your wine, if you add any kind of one thing, they want to know all your formulas and blah blah blah. I mean, there is a lot of red tape that goes with it, but we do have it better than probably a lot of other states, and definitely better than some of the other entities in Texas.
Well, that's interesting because let's say this Mustang grape, you make a mild modification on it, just a minor one. You have to get that approved?
Well, if I add anything artificial, so if I want to add a flavoring to it, so I want to make it a chocolate Mustang instead of, I'm just saying that,
Okay.
But then I have to change the formula. As long as it is grapes, sugar, water, then I don't have to do any kind of formulation with the state. But if I add anything outside of that natural thing, then I get the formula approved from them.
You were telling me it was hassles getting labels approved.
Oh, yes. Labels are crazy. So I designed my own labels. I know a lot of people have theirs designed by an outside place, but I designed my own because I knew exactly what I wanted them to look like. And then went through the label people. Now, you have to go through TTB, which is the federal people first.
What does that stand for?
Tobacco Trade Bureau, something Trade Bureau.
No,
So anyway, it's a trade bureau,
Okay.
TTB. But they're over all this stuff, and that's the federal side. So they want to know that you have the government warning in the right place, and the government warning has to be all caps and bold, and then the rest of it has to be smaller than the government warning. I mean, there's like the specifics on all those kind of things, and then you have to have where it was made and what kind of wine, and it has to. On one of them. I think our blackberry, I put blackberry and they said, you can't put that on there. Mm-hmm. And it just needs to say wine. And so then on another one, they said, you can't say wine, you just need to say red blend. And so just getting the labels approved with the right wording so that it makes them happy. But once they get it approved, you send it to TABC. TABC pretty much rubber stamps anything that comes out of TTB, but they want their $25 per label. So...
Per label.
Per label. I mean, per label approved.
Right,
now,
right.
Then I can print all those. But so next year, when we do Wild Thing again next year, I'll have to change it to 2024. Mm-hmm. And then so I'll have to pay another $25, even though nothing else will change except the year that we've got the grapes. And I'll have to pay another $25 for a new approved label. So every year
they may want something different on the label.
Somebody may look at it and go, "Ooh, no, I don't like the way this looks." So, but
oddly enough, too, there are actual label competition.
Really?
There are label competitions along with wine competitions. They do competitions on the label. So some people go, really hard and heavy, getting their labels all fancy so they can go in the competitions. But we're not there.
Well, even the bigger. Vintners, like the big California groups, so they have to go through all this process?
Oh, absolutely.
Oh,
well, but of course, California has different laws from Texas. Every state has their own, but it's pretty general. But each state is going to look a little different.
Everything out there causes cancer.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
So
yeah,
it's crazy.
The label, if you eat that, probably causes cancer.
Yeah, don't eat this label, and you have to make that.
It's probably on
explicit.
There.
Yeah,
it's probably on there.
Yeah, I know. Well, but it was what really was bothersome about Oklahoma is it was in collusion with the big distributors because they were making traction, they were cutting into their profits,
right?
And that's not how the free enterprise system should work.
Right.
Now, do you see these bottles like you said? There's a lot of trouble getting them in HEB, but you'll get them in restaurants and things like that.
I think eventually we'll go there. Like I said, I probably will have somebody who does my inventory at that point and takes care of bookkeeping because all those numbers make me insane. But
it's something we can grow into.
It's something we can grow into, and I will. But right now, I just want to make sure I have wine at my winery for the people who show up, and that's what I want.
And we want everybody to have a great time.
Yeah, we want people to have good wine and a good time. Our atmosphere, like. Some of the wineries come at it with, we're going to start with our wine and then we'll deal with the atmosphere later. But we kind of went the opposite direction. We were like, let's build a sweet place for people to hang out and make sure then that we have good wine. And so we did it kind of a little bit in the reverse of a lot of people. But we so that we put all of our time and money and intention into really making it a nice place for people to hang out. And a comfortable place, a fun place, and then, but then we did. I think we've got really good wine too.
Yeah, you do. It's very good. I'm going to try these others now because I don't want. Sad to let wine go to waste.
No, don't let it go to waste.
No, but people could drink wine at home, but they want the experience.
Right.
That's the whole thing.
Yeah, if people want to go home with it, they're going to go get a $3 bottle of wine from HEB.
We have people that this past weekend is. Some people came and they, I thought they was coming for the music. He said, no, we're just going to get a few bottles of wine. We're going to go home and go sit by the pool.
Right.
And that's fine too.
Good enough. You have to play live music as well, then.
We do. We're trying to work on getting live music in there.
Sunday night we'll have Steve
Schick out there Sunday night.
Oh, that's my son there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that was Jared. He sang last weekend.
Well, I know 2 or 3 acts, I guess. Would be love to do that.
Yeah.
You know Susie Morgan? Okay, she and her husband Woodrow have a duet, and they also have a larger band. But
Yeah.
probably the two of them is what you want. Also, Brock DeWald is another one. He's got some music out and published out in the open. So those are people may want to contact
Okay.
you, or vice versa.
Yeah.
So,
Okay, that one is a Lenoir. That is, it's called
Glow.
Pink Flamingo. Now, on the front of our winery, there is an 8-foot neon pink flamingo. I don't have that picture. We didn't put that picture up, but an 8-foot neon pink flamingo. So right now it comes on at 8:00 in the evening. So in the fall it'll come on earlier. But so that's kind of about the neon flamingo because it's the flamingo.
Quick story about that. I mean, when we were thinking about putting in the winery and everything, we bought the land and had the house on it, and we'd be telling people, we could be in Fort Worth or somewhere, and we'd talking about, we're putting in a winery. Oh, this is where at? And I said, Cleveland. Oh, I'm familiar with Cleveland. And we'll tell them it's on Highway 4. And then they'd almost invariably, everybody would say, where is it from the Rock House? Well, it is the Rock House.
yeah.
So now that the story has shifted, people will be talking about it. Where is it from that neon pink flamingo?
There you go.
That's it. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
This one tastes very similar to the wild.
Wild thing.
Yeah.
It's they're cousin grapes, so that may be part of it. But that's a Lenoir grape, which is also known as a Black Spanish. It is one that we are growing, and so eventually we'll have our own rosé. But that one is it was High Plains Lenoir, and it's made in a rosé style, so it does taste a little bit like the Wild Thing.
Okay, and this one here.
That one is a Petite Syrah. It is a dry red. This will be your favorite.
You betcha. I do like, as far as like types of reds, I like blends quite a bit. I like cabs, I guess. Cabernets, all right. Merlot is a little heavy for me. I don't know.
It is.
That's not my favorite.
Yeah, it's heavy for me too.
Shiraz are fine. As far as like foreign wine, I don't get all that. I think about the most, if I'm in an Italian restaurant, I'll get a Chianti.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but as far as like having around the house,
Yeah.
I just like blends.
Right.
And that's the thing about wine is like you don't have to spend thousands of dollars. I find these people that spend that kind of money on wine, I thought, are you just trying to show off?
Right.
Because really, after about $40, you pretty much, to my end, have topped out.
Yeah.
I haven't had a lot of expensive wine, but and I bet I had samples. I remember one time I was at a wine shop, and a salesperson was in there, and she gave us a glass of it, and it was like $50 bottle, and wholesale. And I said, well, this is really good, but would I pay all that extra money for it? Nah, I'm good. Yeah, so that's there's a lot of pretension, I guess, in the wine business.
We were at a winery here a while back, and they have a very nice selection of wines. And Dwayne was asking him questions about the wines, and he said, you need to have one high dollar one.
Because basically there are people out there that's going to look at the price. And it's like you said a while ago, if it costs more, then therefore it must be better. And then this guy, Cedar Hollow, wasn't it?
Cedar Hollow.
And he says, you're going to have the high dollar one.
Well,
Somebody's going to
What is your price range?
25 to 30.
Okay. So it's, pretty
Comparable.
typical.
It's comparable to everybody around here.
Yeah, right. It's not like you get like a $200 bottle, whatever.
No.
Or these guys that collect wine and they don't drink it. It reminds me of that movie, Dirty Rotten Scandals. Have you ever seen that movie? Yeah. And Michael Caine showing off the wine collection, and Steve Martin, he's like, you got all this wine, but you won't drink it?
Why?
Yeah, Well, it's I don't know. I have a friend whose his brother-in-law was dealing with one of his clients who had like a whiskey collection that was like worth $10 million, literally.
Oh, wow.
And I'm thinking, how is a bottle of whiskey worth that kind of? I mean, it's not just a bottle, but it had like bottles worth $200,000, $300,000, $400,000. Wow. I'm like, a bottle of whiskey worth $500,000? You kidding me?
I told you not to tell anybody about my whiskey collection.
No, I'm sorry, man. It slipped out. I saw the wine I've been drinking. It all.
We know where to go now.
Yeah, right. But it was just a craziness.
Yeah, that is crazy.
Wine's meant to be enjoyed.
Well, most of our customers will be those people that'll go, "Why do you save the cork? Why would you say that?"
Yeah,
because it's not going to be needed.
yeah. So I hope you put it in the stores though, because I'm sure it'll expand.
Well, when we get the volume, right now, literally, we do not have a place to put enough inventory. We have this one room that we're putting all the inventory in, and we need to go get more wine right now. I mean, we do need to go. There's
Where do you get it?
Well, we've got 2 wines that we really want to get from Brennan out in Comanche. There's a Cabernet Sauvignon and a Viognier that we love, and it's available to us. She's got it for us, but if I don't have a place to put it right now, and so we've got to make a room and make the way to get it out here. Of course, I have to go through all the labeling of all that and everything, but
You have to relay. So these bottles aren't labeled.
no,
Okay. all
these
right.
are not. They're call them shiners, and so places like Brennan and some of these other places when they have
They're able to have surplus.
They have
and then
surplus
they'll
wine.
Sell it off.
and so they'll leave it unlabeled and then can sell it to other wineries, and so we can put our label on it. It just says it's made in Comanche, Texas, and so we've tried those. We tried some. We got Kerrville. We have some wines from Kerrville, and we need to get another one back from them. But
Kerrville Hill. Give 'em a
Kerrville
plug.
Hills, good winery, and John down there is making good stuff. And
Do you have to get it yourself, or do they deliver?
well, John might. He delivered some last time, but then we had to go get some other. But he comes through here. He's putting in a distillery in Bluffdale, so he's comes through the area pretty often. But I don't know that he would deliver a pallet. If we had a whole pallet, we'd probably have to go get it. But anyway, being able to get more wine is something we need to do. So we have an inventory that people have a lot to choose from, but having the space for it at this point is difficult. And so
That goes back to get the wine in front of the people as soon as you can, so you can have some money to build.
And
what
so
you
we need to build a barn. We need to build. That's our next phase.
So
Is
if anybody
putting in.
wants to give us like
Yeah.
$100,000,
So yeah, somebody looking for a good place.
write the check, send it to me in a mail.
Yeah, there you go.
We're willing and able to take it and use it well, and so we need to build a processing barn so we can make more wine and we can store more wine and all of those things. So, but that's the next step, and we're getting there.
So I was just thinking, you have a barn, you have a processor and all that for 100. Are there not any grants? Because I know that
There probably is,
There's
but
some
that's
agriculture
probably
grants.
government grants.
Oh,
And
yeah, they're all
you got-
government.
Yeah, then you got them in your back pocket.
yeah.
Well, most of the grants that I've seen out there, which Tyler out at Wintergrass, he's gotten several grants, but it's because he's a young farmer. If you're young and new, they like to give you money. If you're old and
Why are you pointing at me?
Yeah, I know.
here's this hand pointing at me. Here's this hand. Like old, like we are. There's not as much available for you. And literally, we've tried to work with the Soil and Conservation District to get some stuff. And there's a lot of places that people said, go here and get money, and it's just not panned out.
Not
for
Johnson
us.
County. They don't.
In Johnson County,
Believe
if it's not about animals, then it's not important. So.
Well, I'm glad when you say you buy the wine from other wineries, you're not running down to Sam's and
No. These were made for us, and I
Right.
had to approve them before they went into a bottle and all that stuff. So they were the whole thing. I mean, I asked them. I told them what I wanted. I didn't get everything I wanted, but I was okay with what I left with, and that's like I said, like the Janita. I was not okay with it. The first time I went down there and tasted it, I was like, nope, I will not have this. And so they had to make it right before I would, walk out with it.
That's a custom crush place. There's several custom crush places. In fact, Brennan will custom crush, so you can buy grapes. Go to the high plains, buy the grapes, have them shipped over here. They'll crush them. They'll make the wines for you. They'll do the whole thing. And that's for that worked out great for us because we didn't have the process in place. So eventually, we're going to have our own process.
you don't have vats yet.
Not big vats.
Not big ones.
Everything's
okay.
small scale right now.
But
Those are not cheap. They were expensive back in
yeah.
the day.
Oh yeah.
oh, they still are.
Yeah.
Still are.
He got a couple. My cousin got a couple of vats, and he got a grant from the state of Oklahoma. And I'm like, okay, you got the state of Oklahoma giving ag grants, and then you have the alcohol department of Oklahoma shutting you down. That
Yeah.
doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
But there you are. Well, we're almost out of time here. You would tell us where you are, what your hours are, everything you want everybody to know about your business.
Okay, we're at 1335 East FM4 in Cleburne. And we're Friday and Saturday 12 to 9 and Sunday 1 to 8. But if you get there like the people did last Sunday and you walk in at 10 till, we'll stay till 8:30 with you. It's fine. But
Bring pizza or something.
bring pizza, bring food. You're welcome to bring food. Pets are okay outside. Kids are welcome. One person said, "I guess you don't like kids." I said, "No, bring the kids. That's fine. We got a place for them to run and play." So, so all of that, we just want you to be able to relax and enjoy the time that you're there. And so I want to make a real plug for Sunset Hill Tree Farm. Of course, our Christmas tree farm, as we gear up for school, we have this homeschool class. I teach homeschool science classes at Sunset Hill Tree Farm. So if anybody needs a place for their kiddos to take homeschool science, look at our website because I'm doing that too.
Well, when is a big time for you? Like Thanksgiving, Christmas time?
October's huge because we do pumpkin patch.
Okay.
And then
before you leave, let's get a booking here, so to speak, for
Okay.
October.
Okay.
We can talk about all that, and I'm not going to ask for samples again. Okay. but you will talk about all your enterprises. It sounds
Yeah.
like you got it going on down there.
we're very diverse. We are very diverse.
Well, glad y'all came for a lot of reasons, but
Yeah.
I hope you do well. I mean,
thank you.
I'm impressed with the amount of work y'all put into this.
Well, thank you.
It makes me feel lazy, but I'm okay with that. So, Taylor, I left you a little bit here if you want some.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, no, I didn't drink it all. I got to drive, so whatever else.
We normally have we're trying to have entertainment on Sunday
Oh
afternoons.
yes, Sunday afternoon entertainment. This on the 27th, we have a salsa contest. If you make homemade salsa, you can enter it, and there is a prize. There's a trophy and a bottle of wine for the winner, and we will have music that day also. We're also looking at having. I have a permanent jewelry people coming. So go to Pollo, Rosso Vineyard and Winery Facebook and follow everything we're doing. I'm going to have Hawaiian girls out there sometime. We've got a steel drum band coming in September. So we've got an end of summer bash. We'll have the steel drum band and have a food truck and all that stuff. So we've got a lot of things hopefully coming up. And like I said, theology night hopefully starting the end of this month on Thursdays. So drink wine and talk about the Bible and.
Well, it's in the Bible. There
It's
you
in
go.
the Bible.
There you go.
That may be a good place to start.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Taylor, for doing a double header today.
Of course.
So.
The TV.
Okay. Oh, that's right. I do this all the time. It's not that they're not important to me. I get wrapped up in my own thoughts.
You've had too much wine.
Oh, that's it. No, I'll go with that. Cleveland Railroaders.
Oh, yeah.
This is their schedule. Maybe you can get some wine selling out there. Let's see, what is today? 16th? Tasty Tuesday. Wednesday is Wiener Wednesday. Salute to Heroes with the drink specials.
All right.
On Thursday. Fireworks. And I think tonight, isn't it tonight? They're having it's the Burleson Chamber of Commerce night. That's right. It is tonight. They're going to be the Burleson Railroaders. Okay. Whatever. But they're going to wear special uniforms, I guess. Fireworks Friday. They do all fireworks all the time.
Yes.
And they do a really good show. Saturday is Margaritaville, which always is nice. Hawaiian T-shirt giveaway. That's
Wish I could
interesting.
go to that one.
And then every Sunday they have their Spike Kids Club, and they get to run the bases and whatever else. I'm going to have Kay Goodell on the show a week from Thursday and talk more about this stuff. That's really, the Railroaders are a good outfit. They're doing a lot of charity work as well, a lot of special spotlight nights. Maybe they could have Pollo Rosso night or something like that.
Well, I've actually contacted them, so.
Oh, you really? Okay, well, good. Well, they really are making an effort to be part of the community. I really appreciate that. Thursday, I have Sandy Mason with the American Legion. You're going to be gone, aren't you?
I will be gone.
Okay. Well, so you'll have a pinch hitter in. Who are you going to have?
I believe Josh is running the show.
Oh, Josh. Well, anyway. No, he's
I won't
fine.
be here till next Thursday.
Okay. So and also Monday and Tuesday. That's right. I forgot
Yeah.
you're going out of town. So we're going to have a pinch hitter in the booth over there. So, yeah, thank y'all for listening. Thank y'all for the samples, certainly.
You bet.
And y'all do really good stuff. I really appreciate what y'all do for the community.
Thank you.
All right, bye-bye.